Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today on your mat. My name is Nathie and I'll be guiding you in this practice today. We're going to focus more on opening our hips and our inner thighs and our outer hip area, and we'll touch on to the lower back. So we'll just find ourselves into a comfortable seat. You can sit on a block here or two blocks, just like this. Bring your ankles along your blocks and just sit onto the blocks here. Allow your hands to land on your thighs. You also have the option to sit into Sukhasana or easy pose, or sit on a folded blanket or a block and allow the knees to splay open. We'll just land here, closing our eyes if that's comfortable for you. You can also keep them open. Take a really deep breath here into the lower belly. And then exhale, relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Relaxing the sit bones into the blocks or the mat. Take a few more breaths here into your lower belly. Just grounding down into our seat, feeling the energy we brought onto our mats, and what is it that we want to bring into our practice. Maybe you want to set an intention for your practice. And just start bringing awareness to the sensations in your body. So what is it that you're feeling from your ankles, your feet, through the thighs, the knees, the hips, the lower back, the midline of the body, the front side, the back side, all the way up into the shoulders, the arms, the wrists, the fingers. And then bring your attention to your heart center, right in the chest. Notice the sensations there. Anything at all, allow it to arise and just flow by. And then bring your attention to your shoulders. If you're holding any tension in the shoulders, maybe roll them back and down here. Nice, gentle circles. And then bringing your awareness up through the neck and encompassing your entire head, relaxing the jaw, the cheekbones, and the eyes, recognizing if you're holding tension in the third eye area, the area right between the eyebrows. Try and relax all of your face, your entire head, your entire neck, all of your shoulders, all of your body. Take one full deep breath from the belly, sending the breath up through the chest. And exhale out through the chest, sending the breath down through the belly and out. Good. Now we'll come onto our hands and our knees, removing the blocks. Open the knees mat width apart here. You can tuck a blanket behind the knees to support you, just like this, if this feels better for you. Big toes to touch. Send your hips down into your heels. Option here to have a bolster underneath your chest or a pillow or a folded blanket. And then just allow your hands to reach out in front of you. You can land your forehead on a block. You can change the level of the block for whatever suits your needs right now today in your practice. You can also allow your forehead to completely melt down onto the mat, into your wide-legged child's pose. Extending the arms out, take a deep breath into the lower belly. Send the breath into the hips, expanding, creating space into the hip joints, hip tissues, creases. And then exhale, relax the hips down deeper into the heels as you lengthen the arms, lengthen the spine, relaxing the chest down into the mat. Deep breath here. Good. And then slowly bring yourself back up into your tabletop. Release the blanket. Bring your wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And then just allow here the core, the belly button, to draw in towards the spine, activating your core here. Take a deep breath, look up into your cow, tailbone up, send the heart forward, look up. Exhale, rounding your back, drop the tailbone down. Really pull the belly button into the spine as you draw the chin to chest. Inhale up. Exhale, round. Do this 3 more cycles of breath with your own speed, matching your breath with your movement here. Good. Come back to a neutral spine and start doing big circles with the hips. Clockwise, just rotating the hips around, noticing the sensations that are occurring in the hips as you really circle them around here. And then switch directions with the circles. Good. And then come back to stillness. Take the left leg and start opening it out into a fire hydrant, creating big circles with that left knee. Really drawing nice big circles, and then switch directions with your circles. Come back to your breath here. Trying to look directly down at your mat, relaxing the neck and the head. Good. And then release that knee down. And then just bring that right knee to center. And then take that left knee, bring it behind the right knee. Open your shins out, and then just start sending your hips back and sitting onto your mat. Both sit bones rooted down into the mat here. You can take a block, bring it in front of you. You can take 2 blocks, bring them in front of you. Into your cow face pose or your shoelace pose. Take a deep breath here. You can just hold on to the ankles or have your hands nearby. So you can stay here, or exhale, start hinging forward at the hips, maybe releasing the forearms down on the blocks. You can also have a blanket underneath your belly here to support your belly. Two more deep breaths here. Relax the head and the jaw. Send the breath down into the hips. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Release the blanket, move the blocks to the side. And just allow yourself to walk yourself forward, unbinding the knee, bringing them back to center into your tabletop here. And then just organically moving your hips maybe side to side. And then take that right knee, open it up, and start circling with the right knee. Big circles here. And then switch directions with your circles. Tapping into your breath. Noticing how it feels in that right hip. And then release that knee back down into the mat. Place the left knee to center in the center of your mat. Take the right knee, bring it behind the left thigh, place it back down, open your shins out, and then slowly walk your hands back so you can sit down into your cow face pose or shoelace pose. Option to just stay here, breathing deeply, allowing both sit bones to root down into the mat. Or you can take your blocks and fold forward here. You can also, if you're flexible enough, you can just come all the way down, allowing your chin to rest on your top knee, your forearms resting down on the mat. Deep breath deep down into the hips, allowing the opening to happen. So if you're gripping in your hip or holding tension, just allow maybe a little loosening of the grip as you exhale, melting your chest down, allowing your forehead to relax. One more deep breath. Good. When you're ready, just slowly bring yourself up, walking yourself forward, back onto the knees. Unbind that back knee, bring yourself back onto all fours, and then just move yourself back and forth into tabletop and child's pose. Exhale, hips back into your heels. Inhale, forward, maybe extending the chest past the wrists if that feels good, and then exhale, send your hips back. Good. And then we'll come all the way down onto our belly. Come all the way down onto the belly. And then have your blocks at the top of your mat. Bring the forearms down onto the mat here. Elbows in line with your shoulder, so just beneath the shoulders. Palms facing down. Lengthen the heart forward. Look directly forward into your Sphinx pose. Feel the hip bones and the pubic bone pressing down into the mat. And notice that nice opening of the front line of the body. You can have a block here to support your forehead. You can relax the forehead down on the mat, on the block. Breathe deeply into the front line of the body and the lower back. Good. Release the block. Stack the right hand on top of the left, opening your elbows out and releasing the forehead down onto the stacked hands. Deep inhale, bend both knees at a 90-degree angle and just sway your knees side to side. Sway your legs side to side in a windshield wiping movement. Good. And then release the legs down on the mat. And then we'll come into half frog here. So just bend that left knee up into a 90-degree angle to meet your left hip. And then open the foot up to meet the ankle in line with the knee. So it's all 90-degree angles, flexing the toes. Allow here your hip to open into your frog. If you want to go in full frog, I'll just demonstrate here and I'll count time for all of you that are doing half frog. If you want to go into full frog, bring your blocks in front of you, maybe your bolster underneath your chest. Open your knees wide. Again, still in a 90-degree angle here, flexing the toes. And keeping your knees in line with your hips, just lower down onto forearms. right here on your block, just like this. Or you can go all the way down and allow the hips to sink open here. Feel the inner thighs opening into the groin, all the way into the hip joint. If you were in half frog on the other side, now's the time to switch sides. Deep breath. I'm going to go for 2 more breaths here. Good. And when you're ready, slowly bring your hands underneath you. Draw the knees back up into your chest. And then come back down on the belly, full onto the belly here. Good. And then just allow your whole front body to relax on the mat for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, just roll onto your back. Rolling onto your back. Just flip your whole body onto your back. And find yourself laying here on your back. Draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself a hug, maybe swaying side to side here, really gently. And then we'll plant both soles of the feet down on the mat. Take the right heel, send it up towards the sky, and then draw that right heel down onto the left thigh. Take your right hand inside of the right thigh. Press the thigh away from you into your figure 4. You can stay here if this is enough for you, or just exhale, draw that left knee in, interlacing the fingers around the left thigh. If you want to go deeper, you can hold on to the shin, your left shin. Keep the right toes flexed towards your knee. And then maybe here, take deep breaths into the lower back, sending the tailbone down towards the mat as you exhale, drawing that knee in a little deeper. You can use the right elbow as leverage to press your thigh out and away from you to deepen that opening in the right hip. Notice the sensations in that right hip. And then exhale, release that left foot down, extending that right foot overhead, reach, and then release that right foot. Inhale that left foot up. Reach it towards the sky, and then release the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Press the thigh away from you. You can stay here. Option to draw that right knee into the chest. Figure 4. Deep breath deep down into the hips, both hips. Exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the neck and the jaw. And then release that foot back down onto the mat. Inhale, reach that left leg up towards the sky. Maybe bring both legs up towards the sky. In waterfall, rotate the ankles here. Just allow your legs to dangle. You can have your legs up on a wall if that feels good. And switch directions with your ankle circles. And then when you're ready, just bring the soles of the feet back down on the mat. Take a block, lift the pelvis off of the mat, slide the block underneath the sacrum. You have options here to stay right here with the soles planted on the mat, maybe even extending the arms overhead. The other option you have is to extend both legs out creating a nice opening in the front of the hips, the front line of the body, and supported bridge. Or bring the soles of the feet together to get a deeper opening in your Supta Baddha Konasana, in your butterfly pose. You also can place blocks underneath your thighs here to support yourself. Sometimes I like to take my blanket here and just place it right on top of my belly to feel a nice support, to feel like I can allow the weight of my body to relax down into my block and the mat. Take a deep breath into the lower hips. Exhale, relax the hips, relax the inner thighs, and bring your attention to the soles of the feet. Whether they are on contact or not, bring your awareness to the heels, the ball of the feet, the toes. And then draw your awareness up into the hip sockets. The front of the hips, the sides of the hips, all the way into your lower belly. Take 2 more breaths here. If you were lengthened in your legs, you can come into butterfly, or vice versa. You can close the knees up and lengthen the legs out if that feels good. Allow your toes to flop open here. 1 more deep breath. When you're ready, if you had your blanket there, just remove the blanket. Bring the soles of the feet back down on the mat. Slowly lift the tailbone up, lift the hips off of the block, just about an inch. Slide the block away from your hips. Just slowly lower back down on the mat. Pause here. Notice any sensations flooding in to your hip joints, to your pelvis, to your legs. And then when you're ready, just draw the knees back into your chest for a final hug here. Option to come into happy baby. You can open the knees wide, bring your arms inside of the thighs, hold on to either the shins or the outer edges of the feet, and just draw your thighs opened here. Feet flex towards the knees, knees pointing down towards the mat. Draw the thighs down. So your happy baby is an active pose. Reach the tailbone down towards your mat. Maybe open the knees wider. Take a deep breath in. Maybe swaying side to side. Good. And when you're ready, just bring the soles back down on the mat. And then windshield wiping the knees side to side once more. And then when you're ready, extend the legs out, reach the arms overhead, point the toes, reach the fingers, give yourself a nice big stretch here, maybe squeezing the face, squeezing the fingers, squeezing the glutes, the butt, all of the core, and release all the tension. Release all of your body down in your final shavasana. Allow the breath to just come in, flooding in naturally, and slowly exhaling out, relaxing your central nervous system. Maybe closing the eyes here. Allow the complete letting go of your entire body. Feeling the benefits of your practice. Moving your energy, shifting your energy. Maybe things came up in your practice on what your needs are, what you need to balance your energies out. You'll stay here in Shavasana for as long as you like. Mahalo nui loa for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. And for really landing on your mat and giving yourself this time. Namaste.